Hey guys, it's ExandShadow, and welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man 2. In the last part, we took out Woodman, so in this part, we are going to go after the next robot in the order I like to do, Airman, who is... okay, fine. Insert your Airman Gateoso a joke here, although he really isn't that bad as long as you're playing on normal mode like I am. I assume that if you're playing on the harder mode, he's a little bit more difficult, but really with the wood shield, he's not all that bad, really. I don't really have that much trouble with him, so Anyway, Airman's stage has one of the best music tracks in the entire game, if only because it sounds like a never-ending guitar solo, which is awesome. And the level itself is really okay too. It's not like my favorite level in the game, but it's got a couple of interesting ideas, like those giant blocks that appear out of nowhere. There's not too much interesting that they do with them to begin with, because it's just a matter of timing your jumps so that you don't hit the drill thingy-mahoozits. But later on, when you have to jump from block to block, it's a lot harder to get the right timing down because the drills on one block are going to be going in a different interval as the drills from another block, so I think that's pretty interesting at the very least. Although parts like this where you're just sort of standing on a cloud waiting for the next guy to show up, those are a little bit boring, but it's not really that bad, I don't think. It's just a simple platforming measure, and it's only really that bad if you miss the jump the first time and you gotta wait for another round to come down. Although I do like the use of the foreground and the background here, because like there, the cloud went underneath the cloud platform went underneath a graphic that was actually in the foreground. And believe it or not, I'm pretty sure that like foreground, background, elements were sort of a newish thing back then, you know? Like, stuff obscuring your vision, I can imagine, is like a somewhat new and cool idea. So I actually do like that because, you know, it feels more like you're in the clouds as opposed to just in the sky with clouds in the background, you know? That's something that you don't really get even in like modern Mario games, you know? The sky level is just, you're in the sky and you walk on clouds, but it doesn't really feel like you're in the clouds. It feels more like you're in an area made up of clouds, but it might as well just be made out of rocks or ones and zeros, you know? That's, I think, what gives this level a little bit of its uniqueness, even though visually this is one of the least standout levels in the entire game. You know, it's just blue and... it's mostly just blue, so it's not really pushing the hardware in any significant way. But the enemies at least have some cool animations, and that's another thing that I like about Mega Man 2 is that the enemies are all really good designed, and for the most part their animations are pretty smooth too, so I do like that. Anyway, for these little bird dudes here, when their egg lands on the ground, a whole bunch of... oh, well that was weird. When the egg lands on the ground, a whole bunch of little birds will pop out. That's actually a good spot to use the wood shield ability if you have it at this point, although you should, because Airman is severely weak to the wood shield, so you should always go after Woodman before Airman. But the wood shield can go through more than one enemy at once, so that makes it a good fit for those bird enemies there. But anyway, you're gonna make sure that you're gonna want to make sure that you have lots of wood shield available for you when you go to fight Airman, because although it only takes like 2 or 3 shots of the wood shield to take down Airman, you can, if you miss a whole bunch, you might end up screwing yourself over if it does take you more than one try. But like here, Airman, 2 wood shields, no problem. He is definitely one of the easier bosses in the game. I think that he's not even really all that bad with the Mega Buster, but I just like to use the wood shield because I like taking down these bosses in like 3 seconds. Yeah, if there's one thing that Mega Man 2 could definitely do better, it's that the boss fights really are a joke once you know what the specific weakness order is. Oh, I mean, sure, when you find them with the Mega Buster only, they're pretty damn difficult, but as they are, once you know the weakness order, it's pretty much... they might as well not even be there, and that's really my biggest issue with Mega Man 2 as a whole. Boss fights, kinda lame. And the whole having to know their weakness in order to beat them thing is sort of an issue in and of itself, but I'll discuss that later if I discuss it at all, because this playthrough's going by pretty quick. Anyway, next time, we are going to be going after Crash Man. Yeah, I'm ExandShadow, and I'll see you guys later.